Wayzata will get the dunk at the buzzer for the 8th time in school history. A Maple Girls softball team is going to state.
Hi there and welcome to Sports Jam on CCX. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. On this week's show, a couple of big matchups in girls hockey. We'll meet the last in a line of big contributors from the Biewen family and the Armstrong boys basketball program.
And I'll talk with a very successful local football coach who is retiring. Let's start with girls basketball. Hopkins and Wayzata met 3 times last season and could do the same in 2020, with the last meeting coming in March in the Section 6 playoffs. Round 1 of the regular season last week was a good one between these two. Paige Beckers and the Royals at home for these matchup of the top 2 ranked teams in Class 4A. Royals in transition are very good. Beckers passes out to the wing. Nunu Agara knocks down an open 3-pointer. Hopkins takes a 19-16 lead. Trojan sophomore Mara Braun misses a 3 from the corner but fouls a shot down the baseline and scores 2 of her 22 points, and Wayzata is in front. Beckers had a big first half shooting the ball, knocking down 2 of her 21 first half points, and she finished the night with 27. Annika Stewart hit on 3 consecutive 3-pointers for Wayzata, helping give the Trojans a 35-32 halftime lead. Stewart with 22 points in the game. Second half, Beckers passes to Taylor Woodson on the block, who turns and scores. She nets 11 second half points, and Hopkins retakes the lead. After trailing by as many as 10 in the second half, Wayzata cuts the Hopkins lead to 5 out of 3 by Jenna Johnson. She led all players in scoring with 28. But Beckers connects with Maya Najee on the pick and roll late. Najee with a huge second half, scoring 19 points after halftime, and the Royals win 87-77 the final. They also beat St. Michael Albertville on Friday, and they are now 17-0 on the season.
The Park Center girls handed Wayzata its only previous loss before that Hopkins game. The Pirates were looking to beat the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last season when they played Spring Lake Park at the Target Center. Park Center has a 2-point lead in the final seconds of the first half. Adalia McKenzie hits a long 3-pointer, and the Pirates take a 29-24 lead into the halftime break. Second half, and Park Center works the ball around to McKenzie, and she is open from the left side. McKenzie with a great shooting night. The Pirates lead is 36-24. McKenzie this time with a shot fake, and she attacks the basket, driving all the way for the layup on her way to another huge night. Olivia McGill gives the ball over to McKenzie, and she pops a jumper from the baseline. Park Center's up by 18. McKenzie scores a school record 49 points. Park Center pulls away for an 80-55 win. Now to boys hockey, where Wayzata lost its first 2 games of the new year in January, but the Trojans are now back on track. They look to knock off top-ranked Eden Prairie. It's scoreless in the second when Dylan Lewis takes the pass and backhands a shot past Axel Rosenlund. Wayzata's up 1-0. 4 minutes later, it's Cole Sauer to Drew Streeter, and he buries it on the rush. Wayzata's 4th line stepping up with a goal. The Trojans are up 2-0 through 2. In the third, Eden Prairie wins a draw, and Riku Brown gets a deflection goal 4.5 minutes into the period. But it's Wayzata hanging on as they topple number 1 Eden Prairie 2-1.
At Champlain Park and Totino-Grace boys hockey teams are both in the middle of the pack this season in the Northwest Suburban Conference, but each features some good young talent that could make them contenders in seasons to come. The Eagles and Rebels faced off Saturday for their lone regular season meeting. First period, the Eagles' Kyle Heffron drops the puck back to the trailer's Sam Thielen. He scores the second Grace goal in 32 seconds, putting them up 2-0. But the Rebels get a power play goal late in the period. Ethan Musk tucks in the rebound shot off the Hogan Sinjum shot from the point. It's 2-1 after 1. Second period, and Sinjum gets the loose puck at the Eagles' blue line, and he is off to the races. Sophomore with a pretty goal here, his team high 12th of the season, and it's 2-2. Watch this crazy goal. The Rebels' Tanner Thompson shot over the net, off the glass. The puck caroms off the ice, onto the net, and rolls back and off the goalie, Wes Johnson, and in. Worth another look. The Thompson goal ties this game up at 3. But Totino-Grace scores the next 2 goals of the game. Heffron from a sharp angle puts this one away on the power play. That gives the Eagles a 4-3 lead. They go on to beat Champlin Park 5-4. Champlin Park and Maple Grove will be two of the better teams of the Section 5AA gymnastics meet next month, along with section newcomers Elk River and St. Michael Albertville. The Rebels and Crimson were both solid in a dual meet last week. We start with the vault and Crimson senior Nadia Abbott. She earns an event high score of 9.425 here and wins all 4 events in the meet. 3-time state all-around champion Cheney New out for the season with injuries, but the Rebels still have returning state meet entrants from last year, including Tanisha Bioko Alase. She scores a 9.25 on the vault. That's good for 3rd place. Her teammate Emma Saxa on the uneven bars finishes 2nd on this night behind Abbott. Saxa lands with a score of 8.725 as Champlin Park tops 138 for the meet. To balance beam in Maple Grove, Sasha Thompson. She finishes 2nd in 3 of the events, including beam, where she scores a 9.425. Thompson was also 2nd in the all-around. Floor exercise, and Abbott completes her sweep of the event, scoring a 9.75 and helping the Crimson reach their high team score of the season as they hit 143.625 to win the meet.
Low numbers are a problem for many local wrestling teams. Armstrong and especially Cooper are feeling the pinch. They met up in the annual Robbinsdale Rumble, this time at Cooper. After a pair of Cooper forfeits, Armstrong's Sam Sabisky works for and gets the pin over Antonio Chapman in the 120-pound match. At 138, Armstrong's Diego Terriquez locks on the cradle, and then it's just a matter of time. Terriquez tightens his grip and gets the fall as Armstrong dominates the match. They lead 36-0. At 160, it's Amari Easley's turn for Armstrong. He pins Caleb McMurray of the Hawks as the Falcons build a 54-0 lead, aided by several open weights for Cooper. At 195, Ethan Imbach of Armstrong uses the single leg to get the takedown on his way to an 11-2 win over Bright Deku. Cooper wins the last 2 matches, including a pin for Walter West, who is having a strong season at 220. But it's mostly Armstrong as they win the Robbinsdale Rumble 66-9.
3 boys swimming teams from the area competed at the state True Team meet over the weekend. In Class AA, Wayzata is 3rd behind Minnetonka and Edina as Lake Conference teams take the top 3 spots. Maple Grove places 8th. Wayzata's Casey Stowe won the 200 IM and the 100 backstroke. The Trojans' Nick Kale won the 100 breaststroke. In Class A, it's Breck Blake racing to the team title ahead of St. Thomas Academy and Sartell St. Stephen. James Pan of the Bear Stangs tied a meet record of the 200 IM. Charlie Crosby of Breck Blake took the 50 freestyle and 100 backstroke titles. So a pretty good showing, Jay, for the local teams.
Yeah, that should help them as they get ready for the end of the regular season and also for their section meets coming up. We're taking a quick time out. Next up on Sports Jam, some good girls hockey matchups, plus boys basketball. Welcome back to Sports Jam. 2 of the area's top girls hockey teams went head-to-head in a big school, small school matchup. It's Maple Grove visiting Breck. 1-all in the second. Ashley Halverson gives the return pass to Hannah Halverson. She tucks the shot in. It's a 2-1 Mustangs lead. 23 seconds later, Maple Grove sophomore Tia Race walks in for the shot and goal. And less than a minute after that, Maple Grove's Michaela Macklett breaks in, zips a shot in. Maple Grove leads 3-2. 29 seconds later, Jenna Tim scores. Maple Grove is up 4-2 after 2 periods. 41 seconds into the 3rd period, Lauren Stensley rips a shot and a goal, and that's 5-2 Crimson. But Breck rallies with 2 goals. Hannah Halverson gets another one, cutting the Crimson lead to 5-4. But Maple Grove holds on for a 5-4 win with a combined 71 shots on goal in the game. Maple Grove did lose to Blake in overtime on Saturday. After a so-so start to the season, the Benilde St. Margaret's girls hockey team is playing some of its best of the season right now. The Red Knights were looking for their 8th straight win when they hosted Holy Family, ranked 8th in Class AA. Early first period, Lily Mortensen passes to Mary Zavarall in the circle. Her shot floats over the goalie's shoulder and in. It's 1-0 Red Knights just over 3 minutes in. They lead at 2-0 after 1.
Second period, a good scoring chance for Zavarol again off a pass from Mortensen, but she's denied by fire goalie Sedona Blair. It stays 2-0 through 2. Third period, Sophie Melsness threading a pass ahead. Mahone beats both defenders, goes in alone and scores, and Benilde builds a 3-0 lead. At the other end of the ice, Carly Green was doing her part, making 2 of her 26 saves in this sequence to preserve the shutout. And the Red Knights capped the scoring with a power play goal. The puck will carry to Olivia Hogg. She scores with under 5 minutes to play, and Benilde St. Margaret's shuts out Holy Family 4-0.
The Armstrong Cooper and Hopkins Park girls hockey teams have struggled some this season. They met up in a non-conference game. The Royals at home to face off with the Wings. Hopkins Park's Aaron Brousseau creates a turnover deep in the wing zone, then gets the puck back and slides it under the goalie's pads and in. A shorthanded goal, and Hopkins Park leads 1-0. The Wings' Paige Lloyd-Holt skates out from the wall and roofs a shot from the circle into the HP net. The sophomore's 8th goal of the season ties it at 1. In the second period, the Royals' Sarah McCallan with a shot from the point that's tipped in by number 27, Alicia Swenson. That goal puts Hopkins Park ahead 3-2 going into the third. The Wings pull back to within a goal in the third. Lloyd-Holt steals the puck and sets up Rachel Vegan for the goal. It's the first of the year, and they are within 1. But Hopkins Park is able to answer that. The puck comes out to Abby Meyer in the high slot, and she shoots and scores a power play goal that makes it 4-2. And that's the finals. The Royals break a 6-game losing streak with the win. The Cooper boys basketball team is on a good roll. The Hawks carry an 11-3 record into the week and haven't lost in 2020. They hosted Chanhassen in Metro West play. Anthony Clay Trezek drives into the lane, and the spin move creates a little space for the short jumper. The Hawks are up 15-13. Davion Evans uses the spin dribble to get an opening for the short jumper. He scores 14 in the game. Cooper leads it by 1. Tyson Dallas with the quick dribble, and then he pulls up for the jumper for the Hawks. They lead by 1 at this point, but trail by 3 at halftime. To the second half, and Evans attacks into the middle of the Storm defense and scores 2 more. Cooper is up 40-37 in a game that stays close all night. Broderick Powell Jr. catches the defense napping. He whips the pass to Clay Trezek for the layup. He nets 12 in the game. Cooper's up by 8. Clay Trezek gets the steal here for Cooper, and he gives it to Powell for the layup for 2 of his 10 points. Chanhassen battles back, but it's Cooper winning 62-59 to move to 5-0 in Metro West play.
Maple Grove and Champlin Park are battling for the top spot in the North Division of the Northwest Suburban Conference in boys basketball, and they met last week at Maple Grove. First half, Maple Grove's for Sean Parker with a 3-pointer for a 14-7 Crimson lead. He scores 15 in the first half. Then Sean O'Dwyer gets the steal, sends the pass. Lavelle Williams finish, and Maple Grove is in control. Champlin Park chips away. Jared Walter slices through the defense and scores here. Parker penetrates, zips a nice pass to John Hawkinson, and the Crimson sophomore knocks down a 3. Devon Moore drives hard for the Rebels and scores. It's 36-all at halftime. Moore pokes the ball loose to Dom Witt, and he sends the long pass to Richard Scott, and the Rebels are up 49-46. Crimson can spread the floor too. William to Hawkinson, and he gets 2. And then the next possession for the Crimson, Caden Betcher with a 3-pointer. It's 53-52 Crimson. Lavelle runs the break and hits Parker for a basket and foul. Parker leads all scorers with 20 points. Maple Grove wins 66-65.
Park Center and Spring Lake Park's boys teams also playing at Target Center. Spring Lake Park starts fast. Jacob Osseo over to Blake Remy for the layup. The Panthers are up 13-6. Remy gets the assist on this play as he finds Nick Ogile for a 3-pointer. Spring Lake Park is up 20-10. Park Center fights back. Braden Carrington finds Datavius Frierson for the layup to tie it at 27. The Pirates trail by 1 at halftime. Second half, and they get it to Dane Danger, and he goes to work in the lane. Nice footwork on the spin move, and Park Center leads by 5, 17 in the game for Danger. Spring Lake Park keeps on firing. The pass ahead to Remy, and he spots up for a 3 in transition. and that ties the game at 50-50. It's close throughout this one, but Park Center pulls it out. Josh Lewitz gets the offensive rebound and sets up James Parker for 2 as he provides a spark off the bench for the Pirates. Danger gets it to Frierson on the alley-oop, and he slams it home as Park Center wins 69-62. They did fall to top-ranked Eden Prairie on Saturday. So some good races going on both sides of the Northwest Suburban, John.
It's always fun to watch these teams and how they play down the stretch heading into the playoffs. Coming up next in our Sports Jam Spotlight, we will meet the last in a line of a talented Falcons family, the Biewens.
The Armstrong boys basketball team enters the week with an 11-2 record and tied for first place in the Northwest Suburban Conference's West Division. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, Jason Melillo profiles Falcons senior Adam Biewen.
6'5" guard Adam Biewen is a versatile player for Armstrong.
Biewen left open for 3 and he hits.
But what he really loves to do on the floor is defend.
I love guarding the team's best player. I see it as a challenge.
A lot of times I'll put him on someone bigger than him or a guard that maybe a little smaller and quicker.
A lot of the guys Biewen guards are very athletic, so Biewen relies on his basketball IQ to lock those players down.
You have to be a really smart player, I think, which is something that helps me to be a good defender, because some guys are really good athletes. They can be quick and good on-the-ball defenders, but sometimes their IQ isn't as high, so they'll get lost like on screens and stuff or more off-the-ball stuff. So I think you have to be really smart as well as being a good athlete to be a high-quality defender.
Biewen became a full-time varsity player last season and is still working to improve his overall game, especially on offense, where he wants to start attacking more consistently.
Scoring more points is fun, but I don't want to try to force it too much. I want to try to get the best shot for our team.
A lot of that just has to do with him being aggressive consistently. Some games he's more aggressive than others, but you know, I tell him all the time, I want you to keep being aggressive. We'd like both him and Jake to kind of be at the guard, the two guys that are really trying to create and you know, be aggressive offensively.
Pride and passion for Falcon basketball runs deep in the Biewen family. Adam is the third of 3 brothers to play at Armstrong, following Mitch, who graduated in 2014, and Carter, an 07 grad.
Yeah, I think it's contributed a lot to how much I know about basketball. I've been in the gym since I was 1 year old, watching my brothers play. I've probably watched thousands of games of theirs, and so just being in the gym a lot has helped with my basketball IQ, I think, and helped me become a better player, just watching them and learning from them.
You know, he's seen all this before. He's seen it not only with Carter, but also with Mitchell. And, you know, him being the third to come through, this is kind of old hat to him. You know, so he can just kind of go out and play hard and do what he does and not think about some of the extra stuff that maybe somebody that hasn't been through it before would think about.
Carter starred on the last Armstrong boys team to make the state tournament. Adam and Mitch and their sister Brittany cheered on Carter and his teammates as the Falcons went all the way to the title game.
It was a crazy atmosphere. It was something I wanted to be a part of and hope to be a part of someday, so I think it would be fun if this year we could make that happen again.
If Armstrong can make a run through the section tournament and earn its first state berth in 13 years, it would be a lifelong memory for Adam Biewen, and also a fitting way for the Biewen family to say goodbye to Falcon basketball.
Carter and Mitch Biewen both played college basketball at Carleton College. Adam is still deciding on his higher education path. He wants to play college hoops, but says academics will be the primary factor in his decision. Sports Jam returns in a moment as John talks football with retiring Totino-Grace coach Jeff Ferguson.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. After 18 seasons as the head football coach at Totino-Grace, Jeff Ferguson has announced his retirement from coaching. And Jeff, has been 42 years in all, a long run for you. First of all, congratulations on retirement. I think that's always a big step, and you've accomplished a lot in your football career.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Jason. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's a tough decision. As anytime I think decisions like this, there's lots of factors, but I'm really confident it's the right decision, and I'm excited for the future. And honestly, I'm excited for Jay Anderson and our staff because they'll do a great job.
Tell me about Jay, and he's been with you quite a few years here.
Right, I hired Jay. Jay was my first hire when I got the job in 2002, and I hired him as my offensive coordinator. He's been with me the entire time, and he's exactly what this school needs.
Dave Nelson recently retired as head football coach at Minnetonka. I know you coached with him at Blaine. Have you talked to him in the either leading up to your decision or since you announced this within the last week?
We talk all the time, and we've talked all the time for 40 years. So, yeah, it's been several years for both of us kind of going, well, how long are you going to go? Well, how long are you going to go? And you know that there's an end time. And I don't know that there's any science to it. It's maybe a gut feel. And at the end of the last several years, I've kind of thought, yeah, let's keep going. And I've had conversations also with my staff, just kind of get ready because there's an end time here. And like I said, I feel really good about my decision. And I feel really good about where the program's at and also where it's going.
You took over a program that was in pretty good shape under Dave Niggin, but you took it to another level. 8 state championships. Was there a game or a season or a point that you can point to and say, hey, this is where I know we can compete with any school of any size?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting question. The beginning years just sort of all are a blur, because I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't want to screw up what Dave Niggin had started. And we got off kind of with a bang. Started in 2002, and in 3 and 4 we were state champions. I don't think there's one season. You could say 2016 we were that was our lone 6A state championship, but I would not want to discredit any of our players or teams. They were all special, and really the end result isn't why you coach. I love just the connection and the unifying part of it. I think that's what makes football special is the bringing together of people.
You're stepping down from coaching, but you'll continue to work here at Totino-Grace, correct?
I will. I am not retiring from my job and advancement here. I did take my pension a few years ago, and so I am a half-time employee, and I'm really excited about, still working, but having some time for my family and for some other things. So the next chapter, I think, will be good.
Congratulations on a great run here at Totino-Grace. It's been great to work with you, and best of luck in retirement from coaching.
Thanks, John.
Jeff Ferguson, head football coach, stepping down after 18 seasons. Jay Anderson will take over the Eagles program starting in the fall.
Remember to vote for our CCX Sports Play of the Week. 4 new plays are up on our website now. Go to ccxmedia.org. It's brought to you weekly by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove. And here's last week's winner. With more than 600 votes, the floor exercise performance by Wayzata gymnast Grace Trainer in the Trojans meet against Hopkins is our play of the week. Congratulations to Grace, and thanks to all who voted.
Mark Friday, February 7th on your calendar for the District 279 Foundation Gala. Find out more at ccxmedia.org under cities and in the community.
Our game of the week is a good girls hockey matchup. Wayzata hosts Brack. Watch the game live Friday night at 7 from the Plymouth Ice Center, or catch the replays Friday night at 10 or Saturday afternoon at 4.
And that will do it for this week's show. Thanks so much for watching Sports Jam.
Next week we'll have conference meets in Nordic skiing, plus some great matchups in hockey and basketball. See you then.